So what is a regime change? Why do you do a regime change? The CIA does regime change when some country, like say Iran or Iraq or Syria or whoever, Venezuela, has a leader who actually looks out for that country and their people and their resources and doesn't let Wall Street oligarchs who always put in a shill in the White House and shills in Congress, stockholders, or oligarchs or CEOs or whoever. Basically, a regime change is when the CIA goes into a country and takes down a leader and installs a Wall Street shill for the oligarchy. Who does that? The CIA. Who's Tucker? A son of the CIA. That Tucker just lied about very recently with that shit with Fuentes. My dad's not CIA. He knew. He knew his dad was CIA. He lied. Who's the CIA? Usually a bunch of lawyers or oligarchs themselves. Virginia G. Piper is a homeland security, and she's a Goldwater, one of Barry Goldwater's kids.
I like this red one with the stars.
Oligarchs, colonizers, and she's a high-ranking military intelligence. She's Navy Special Forces instructor and a helicopter pilot and a supervisor of Homeland Security. She doesn't work for Kristi Nunn or Mark Wayne Mullins. They work for her. And the Weinbergers and the McCains. And Tucker Carlson's father. And Tucker is, instead of doing a regime change, he can't really do that here. I mean, the last time they did it, the CIA did a regime change stateside was when they killed the Kennedys and let LBJ take over. And it wasn't because the Kennedys were doing the right thing. It's because the Kennedys were blackmailing them. And they wanted to make an example of the next motherfuckers who thought they were going to get up and do Kennedyisms and talk about the crimes that their criminal enterprise was committing publicly in order to extort the criminal enterprise. Because they were trying to make their bones. The Kennedys weren't born oligarchs. They were born poor people. They were nouveau riche. So they weren't real badasses who really made their bones, killing people for money. They were pussy-ass little college boy bitches who thought they were going to do this, the gentlemen. We're going to blackmail and extort the colonizers. We're going to do this diplomatically. Yeah, they got their diplomacy. And they're like, yeah, if they made an example out, Kennedy was an addict. They could have just killed him in here. They could have just OD'd him. Right there in the White House. And called it an overdose. No, they wanted all future Kennedys, like Charlie Kirk, that was their message. F around and find out. That's why they dealt with Kennedy the way they dealt with him. But anyway. So anyway, that was the last time the CIA did a regime change stateside. Which is a change would mean a cure. Prevention's better than a cure. So by Tucker staying on Trump's original progressive, populist, anti-war platform and distancing himself, even now claiming that the CIA was reading his texts and pretending to be a victim of CIA surveillance. and all this crap. I mean, that's just part of it, but crap, all the infight, what looks like infighting between Marjorie Taylor Greene and, Nancy Mace supposedly blowing the whistle on the Epstein stuff, and Boobert, and them getting into it with Laura Loomer, and that's not true division. That's theatrics. All those other Republicans who appear to be going against Trump are just making sure Tucker's got Republicans endorsing him so that he can get in there and get all of them off the hook. You understand what I'm saying? It's Trump can't endorse Tucker as a Republican. That's a kiss of death. Tucker needs Republicans endorsing him. So that means several other Republicans have to appear to go against Trump, and they're choosing the Epstein files crap as, that's obviously, that's the most convenient way to defy Trump, and then they'll endorse Tucker. And then everybody's going, oh, we want MTG to run for president. Oh, we want Tucker to run for president. That's what they want. They're doing Trump too. They're doing the same thing Trump did in 2016 and 2020 and 2024. They all thought that all those voters were just going to roll with whatever bullshit Trump and Blondie and Noam spewed out their mouth. They just thought everybody was going to go with it, and now they're saying it ain't working out that way. Now they've got to come up with plan B. So instead of doing the regime change, Tucker's just going to run as a progressive against AOC or Ro Khanna or Thomas Massey or whatever, and use his name, because he's got name recognition, to make sure that a true progressive who's going to honor democracy and protect the Constitution and hold everyone accountable doesn't actually get into office. Prevention is better than a cure or change. It's not regime change, it's regime prevention.